Hey guys, in today's video, I thought we should do something that has been requested a few times on my Instagram, and that is to do a reel from start to end. Now, there will be a few quirks in this one, as I'll be using a song from Artlist instead of the one that I'm finding on Instagram, but I'll show you the entire process anyway, and just kind of pretend that the audio is from Instagram and not from others. So anyway, I'm gonna record my phone. I'm gonna show you everything from getting the sound from Instagram to my computer, all the flow. It might be a little bit of a long video. Going to try and make it as quick as possible. So let's just get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to take my phone and I'm gonna open Instagram. And right now I don't have any sound on my phone, and I already found the song that I'm gonna use. I found this video on Instagram, and it's not really the video that I'm interested in. I'm looking for the sound down at the bottom. So I'm gonna click on that sound, and it says use audio already. I can see that I've already saved it up here in the corner. I'm just gonna do that again. And it's set to recording. So usually I would just click record, but since I'm already showing you the screen, it's already recording. Then I will just make sure that it's at the beginning of the song and then click play. Let it play through a little bit. Usually how much ever I need, and to cut that through so it works. This particular song is playing some soft music, and then it has kind of like a beat, and then it goes a little bit more upbeat. So what we're gonna do for today's video is we're gonna make this one from like a Rec 709 clip or log clip into a color grade. So that's gonna be a quite simple one. So I think we have enough of the audio here. I'm gonna click stop recording, and I don't actually know if you can see my phone now, so I'm just gonna start a new recording showing you that I am now airdropping it. So I'm gonna close Instagram here, head to photos, and inside the Photos app, we now have the video here, and I am just gonna click airdrop that to my computer, and it will airdrop. You can also hear the sound from my computer over there. That is recording, and it is sending, and it is over there. So now we are inside of my computer, and we are in DaVinci Resolve. I just pre-opened this. You can see this is my reel workspace for projects. I'm just making it D-reel and then a number. That was for DaVinci reel back when I started, and I've just kept to that. So I'm gonna call it D reel 163. That's how many reels I've done in a row inside of DaVinci now for that many days. Then we are gonna open a Finder. Then I'm gonna click on my downloads, and here we have the clip that I just imported. So we're gonna put that inside of my media pool here. We are in the edit tab. I'm just gonna double click this, and then we are gonna switch to audio track. It is the correct song, so I'm gonna turn it all the way back. I would click I for in point, then play through how much of the song I want, and then click O, then drag the audio track onto my timeline, click Shift C, Shift Z, and that's then what we're working with. But because this is copyrighted and everything, I can't play this music for you. Then I can't get monetized on YouTube and all that stuff. So I am just gonna head onto Artlist real quick. So now I have this song downloaded, just gonna drop that in. I'm gonna delete this clip down here. This is just the audio clip that we dragged in before. I'm just gonna drag in the song that I just got from Artlist. Just make sure that the volume level's okay. Okay, so we are just gonna cut it here and then play through. Okay, so we don't want the song. And I think around here there's a drop. There, so we're just gonna use that for this particular reel to show you what I'm doing. So let's get to it. So now we have the audio in. As said before, that could previously have been the video that we just downloaded from Instagram, screen recorded, and then switch to audio track and then use the audio here. So just pretend that that's the audio from Instagram for now. Now we're gonna import some clips, and I think that we are just gonna go in and let's just take like this clip, and this clip. I think those can look pretty good. And then for the last part, I want to make this a free split video. So I'm just gonna head into my asset folder here and grab a free split black bar. You can download those on my website on the free downloads if you want that. I'm gonna drag that onto the timeline, just stretch it out a little bit, and then make sure that it's on video 4, it is now. Make sure that it takes up all the space of the audio, and now we're good to go. So first we need to make sure that all the videos are in the right frame rate. So I'm gonna make this 29.97. They were shot in 60 frames, so that's what we're converting them to. And of course, I had my timeline settings set already. They are set to 1080 by 1920 using the vertical resolution, and the playback frame rate is set to this as well. If you end up having that you didn't do that beforehand, you can make a new timeline, unclick use project settings, and then change the settings in here. Just select the 1080 by 1920, make it the vertical resolution, click your frame rate, whatever you want it to be. This works best for Instagram, by the way. If you're shooting in 24, 25 frames, it won't work as good. It will be a little bit chubby. And then you can just create a new timeline and then copy everything from here, Command C, and then open the new timeline, Command V, whatever. Okay, just to quickly tell you that. Anyway, now everything is in slow motion. So we can see that I start moving the camera around here. I'm just gonna click I to make an in point, drag it down here. And that was not enough. So we're actually gonna have to use some more of the clip. Gonna click the out point here and let's just see what it looks like. I'm just gonna mute the audio for a second here. That's a little bit of a shame, but I think it's okay. We definitely need to stabilize it, so we'll do that here. Gonna turn up the smoothing a little bit, turn down the strength a little bit. I find that that works best. No particular settings, just doing something like that. See here, that already looks a lot better, so that's perfect. Gonna set it at that. Then I am going to make the zoom 1.06, find that works best, and I am going to make it negative 2025. That puts it perfectly in this bottom frame. You can't really see the line here, but we have a line covering from this free split one. And then I think we're going to put this one in the middle. So this one we'll do the same thing with. I'm going to start rotating around there, click I, drag it down to the timeline. I'm going to make this the bottom clip. This is the middle clip, and we did not have enough for this one either. So we're gonna have to stretch that a little bit as well. Just seeing here, and you might have the bottom here cropped, but that's because I'm trying to record my screen in 1080, so it takes up the entire screen. So I'm sorry that you're missing down the bottom here when I'm going full screen. I think we're gonna just stabilize this a little bit just to make sure. Stabilize that, boom. Pushing into 1.06, and then I'm going to drag the last clip, do the same thing, starting moving there, click I, drag it down. This one was finally long enough, that was great. Pushing this one up to 2025 to get it to the top frame, 1.06 for zoom, and now you can see that we have these lines still cropping the bottom, but you see we have these perfect lines on top. Those are coming from this free split one that I said you can just download for free on my website. It's just a PNG, a transparent PNG with those lines. So now we have this clip. Let's see what it looks like with audio. We can just... Okay, and I usually have this one on so we can see that it just plays through again. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. So what I want to do now is I want to drop here into the color grading page. And actually the way that I usually color grade is that I will go in here and first of all, I will make a new timeline. So I'll click timelines, make a new one, remove the project settings. I'll usually call it Hori for horizontal. Make a 4K timeline because all my footage is shot in 4K. Make sure that I don't have vertical resolution set on and click create. Now I have a horizontal timeline, which makes it a little bit easier to color grade. I will go into my timeline here, take all my clips and go into the horizontal timeline, pull these in, and then I'll just zoom out a little bit here, drag down the clips, and then I have to remove all of the adjustments that we did up here. Otherwise, some of the clips will be out of frame. Okay, there we go. So now we can take these clips and we can color grade them a little bit easier. Now we have a little bit more space. So I'm just gonna hide the clips so that we have a little bit more space to work with. And I have a power grade here where I've already done my node tree. So I'm just gonna double click that. That takes the first one, just creates a node with a color space transform, converts it from Canon Cinema Gamut, Canon Log 3 into DaVinci Wide Gamut and DaVinci Intermediate. I have a video explaining why that is, and if you want to check that out. And then I have another one that changes it from the DaVinci color space basically into Rec 79 and Gamma 2.4. Don't necessarily have to do that. It just works a little bit better when I have multiple different clips from a drone and stuff. In this case, we just have from the R6, so it doesn't matter that much. Then I have my usual structure. This row will be for color grading, or color correction, sorry. This one for color grading, and this one for masking, which is part of the color grading process. We're gonna make it easy for me today. as we don't want the longest video in the world. So I'm just going to grab one of my new Cine LUTs, which I believe is here, the Cine pack. It is available on the website as well. And I think for these green tones, I think Cine 1 will probably work quite good. It does indeed. And then it's just a little bit dark. So we will go into the primary reels, choose one of our nodes up here in the color correction. Usually I use this node for this. Turn up the offset a little bit and maybe even turn up the gain some more. And then turn down the lift a little bit. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good right off the bat, but there is some noise in the background, which means that we've probably gone too far with the lift, and that is a bit of a shame. It looks like there is some weird thing going on with the colors as well. So I might just want to change this and then see if we maybe need to go a little bit more into the green tones here around -7, and then see if we want a little bit more warmed up, maybe 50 in the temperature here. I did that on node 2, and I just see, I think that definitely did a little bit of work here, turning on and off the temperature node here. I think that did a little bit of work. We could do noise reduction in these, but that's not for this video. So I think we're just going to see if we cannot just leave it at this. Something weird going on with the stabilization. We'll fix that when we get back into our real timeline. So let's see if this can work for the other clips as well. So I'm just going to use the clips here again and then apply the same grade to these ones. Let's see how it works for this. I actually think the colors are pretty good. So let's just reset this node. It is indeed too dark, but I don't think we need the added gain here. So we could just increase the gamma a little bit and then reduce the lift. I think that gives a pretty cool look. Definitely, I like that. So basically the LUT did this to it. So the basic adjustments we've done has just been moving it into a little bit more of a cinematic grade. And then for this one, I think definitely don't need the color temperature, and then this is going too much in. So let's just see what we can do. We want to reduce the gain a little bit because we have some strong highlights, and then I definitely want to increase the gamma and increase the lift a little bit as well, not too much, just to kind of see where that lies. I think that is pretty good as well. I might want to check out one of the other LUTs here just to see if something looks better. This is desaturated. This is for a warmer tone. I think this one looks a little bit better. Something going wrong with the stabilization again, but that's okay. So because this is not a color grading tutorial, I think we will leave it at this for now. I'm gonna highlight these 3 clips again, Command C, then jump into my first timeline, go to the end of it to make sure that I don't overwrite anything, and then just add it in. If I click Command or Shift Z, or click this button up here, and I'll see the entire timeline. So now we can see that the clips are added here. If I go into my color grading now, I can just click and apply the grades here. Just a little bit easier to see what we were doing inside the other timeline. Now we have them all applied. I can easily just delete these again. Sometimes I've found that the stabilization turns off when I've done this. So I'm just going to go in and hit the stabilization on all the clips again to make sure that they are still stabilized. And then let's just look at what it looks like now. I might want to do a little bit more, and I might do that after this video, but just for the sake of what we've done now, I think that's pretty good. Now what I want to do is, of course, this part here is what I wanted to make the shift in the color grade. So when this beat hits, we wanted to shift from no colors to this color grade right there. So we're gonna go, we're gonna stay in here. Then I'm gonna highlight all the clips and I'm gonna click this tool. I have a shortcut for it, but we're just gonna do it the simple way here. Highlighting didn't really matter. I have A set as my shortcut for cutting like that. Then I'm going to go into my color grading tab again. I'm just gonna click Option D to turn off the entire color grade for all of them. Now it's all in lock, and that gives us this kind of effect when we are watching the reel. So that's the kind of idea that we might have wanted to do it a little bit earlier. We will do that when I use the actual sound from Instagram. But for now, this is all good. This is what I wanted to make. Then I'm going to the delivery tab, clicking Reels. This is my template. I'll show you the settings down here. I also have a video going a little bit more in depth than that. 163, that's the one that I have. Browsing through where I'm saving it. I'm saving it in my Reels folder. Clicking save. The template just makes sure that it's formatted to QuickTime. That works best as far as I've heard for uploading through iPhone. The codec is H.265, which is better compressed than H.264 and takes up less space. So that is better. Hardware acceleration is available. It's just on default, I think. I don't know what the network optimization is. Resolution still 1080 by 1920 using the vertical resolution. Doesn't really matter. That's just because it's now changing it up itself. Frame rate still the same. Make sure that your frame rate is correct when you get to this point. If you've made a timeline that is in the wrong frame rate, you will see it here. You will not be able to change it. So you can just make the trick and go back and make a new timeline, copy everything, and you should be good. Quality wise, I'm restricting it to 45,000 kilobytes per second. That I found works best for not getting any compression. Optimize for speed, encoding, multipass encoding, whatever. I don't know. I have those on. I don't know if they make a big difference, but they're on, so we're doing that. I'm clicking add to render queue, clicking render all. Just gonna give it a second to render the reel, and there we go. Then I'm gonna right click, reveal in Finder. There we go. I'm going to click on the airdrop button, and I am going to find my iPhone. Click on my iPhone here, and now I'm airdropping the reel back to my iPhone. Also gonna turn the screen on here so we can see me again. Hello, there we are. Okay, we're recording my phone. You can see now that we have the reel on my phone. Turns on the color grade, very nice. Then I would go into Instagram again. We still have this open, but otherwise you can go in and find the song. For this, I'll just click use audio, and then I'm gonna add my clip. Click add, click next. And now we are inside the editor. I'm going to click on the music icon, and then because I already selected the sound and I'm using the sound already, I don't really have to go in and find it, but otherwise I could find it in saved, or I could search for the song. Inside saved, it should be here as well. It's the top one that we just used. I think that's because we selected it maybe. Controls. You can see here that camera audio is now set to 0 and the song is set to 100. But because we edited the song inside of our editing software, in this case DaVinci Resolve, we are going to use the camera audio because that's what we edited to, and trying to find the correct passage inside of Instagram is a pain in the ass, so don't do that. So I'm going to turn up the camera audio to 100, and then I'm going to turn down the song to 1. Basically you won't be able to hear it, but I don't know if you can turn it down to 0, or Instagram then will think that it's not there. But if you have it at 1, you can't hear it, and Instagram will say, oh, he's using the song, so everything's good. Clicking done, going back here, everything's good. Then I'm just gonna write my caption, select my cover if I made one, or make sure that it's some point inside it. In this case, it would be where the colors are actually at. Clicking done and writing out my caption, everything on here. Making sure, of course, that advanced settings, you have high upload quality on. That's important if you don't have that already. And then I'm just clicking share. And that's basically what I'm doing for my workflow for Reels. So I don't know how long this one is. Quite a long video, but thank you so much for watching. I was trying to rush through this. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them down here in the comments. I'm always happy to help. And if you want something else in terms of these Reels dive videos and going through my workflow, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. This was on request, and I've been asked to do this quite a few times. It's a little bit of a struggle to push this into 10 minutes or whatever if you want to see the entire workflow. So that's why this is a little bit longer, but I hope that you stuck with me through all of this. And as always, I'm super happy that you're here and supporting these videos. Do hit the subscribe button if you like this video and you want to see more. It really makes a difference. And apart from that, just have a really good day. And until the next time, take care.